Hello, this is Choices Stress Management. I'm your host, Dennis, and today we're going to talk about anxiety. All of us are feeling a little anxious right now because of the coronavirus and all the different things happening in the world. Our lives have been very disrupted, and that can lead to anxiety. So today I want to share with you a few things that are from the American Association of Anxiety and Depression. Their suggestions on what we can do to deal with anxiety in our lives. So I have a little list here. We're going to go down them together and see if we can learn something that'll help our lives go a little smoother. First of all, we need to learn to accept that we're not in control. The truth is, a lot of us like to be in control, and being in control can be obsessive for some people. But ultimately, we're not in control. We can control some things. We certainly can control our own choices, but we can't control the world and we can't control other people's choices. Learning to accept that will bring you peace. Doing the best you can, that's the next one. And that is, do what you can to make good decisions. And the more people who make a choice to make good decisions, the better off the world will be. And it starts with you. You need to be the change you want to see in the world. I know these seem trite, but they are true and they work, but they're not always easy. But they're the right direction to go. The next is, try to have a positive attitude. Focus on the positive, not on the negative. When you find yourself dwelling on negative thoughts, tell yourself not to do that, that's not allowed, especially in certain times. Never allow yourself to think negative things when you're in bed at night before you go to sleep. Don't allow yourself to be negative when you're with children. If you need to make decisions and dwell on negative things and work out things, we all do as adults, do it in a time and a setting where you feel control and safe, in which you're not trying to do something else like rest or interact with other people. Know your triggers. If you know your triggers, you're able to either avoid them or learn coping skills to help you deal with them. Know your triggers. If your trigger for your anxiety is a certain activity or person or situation, try to avoid those situations as much as possible, or prepare yourself ahead of time and be ready for that trigger. So when it happens, you're in control. Limit your alcohol and your caffeine. I'm a strong believer in all things in moderation. A glass of wine might calm you down and feel great. 4 glasses of wine might make you much worse. It's easy to become dependent on things that give us comfort at this time. And we don't want to do that because those dependencies will turn around and hurt us later. So be in control. Caffeine makes you jittery. It raises anxiety levels. It makes it hard to sleep. And you can get into a cycle that way. So work on that. To limit those things, make them special, have them at the appropriate time and circumstances, and limit the amount you consume. Get some sleep. Depression, we tend to sleep too much. Anxiety, not enough. I really am a strong believer of going to bed at the same time every night, waking up the same time every morning. Within reason. Because your body gets into a cycle that now it's time to sleep, now it's time to get up. And lots of studies have shown that this is a powerful way of controlling your emotions, is by making sure you have adequate sleep. And finally, exercise. Get up and move. If you're like me, I have health problems, I'm older, I can't do what I used to do. I used to speed walk 5 miles every day. I can't do that anymore. But I still can get up and move around. I have stairs in my house, so I make a point of walking up and down my stairs, or taking the dog for a walk, or doing something. Keeping my body moving. It's very good for anxiety and for depression. And when you're exercising, make it a positive experience. I used to speed walk a lot, and when I first got into it, the way I got myself moving was I would get a book, this dating myself, but on cassette. And I would only listen to the book when I was out walking in the evenings. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. And I'd get a really good book, and I'd be anxious to know what was going to happen. like watching a movie. And so every evening, my motivation would go to hear my book. And so I'd get out, I'd walk. And I'd walk longer than normally wouldn't want to quit, but I want to hear what's going to happen next, the next chapter. And so I would walk. So keep moving around, exercise. That's what you can do for your body. So for your mind, accept that you're not in control. Do your best. Know what your triggers are, and be positive. For your body, limit your alcohol and caffeine. Get some sleep. Eat a balanced diet. It's also important, especially when we're stuck home alone. There's a temptation to overeat, and exercise. And finally, action you can take. First of all, breathe. Just take a deep breath and calm down and look at the numbers. When we look at the statistics of people who've become ill and the unfortunate people that have passed because of this disease, it's statistically tiny compared to the population of the United States. Very small amount. Now, I'm not trying to say these deaths aren't tragic and sad, but I'm just saying the truth of the matter is, majority of people are going to survive. Vast majority. The world will go on. So take a deep breath. Unless you're in immediate danger, take a deep breath. If you're like me and you're in a high-risk category, do what you need to do. Take positive actions to protect yourself. Count to 10. Mark Twain used to say, when angry, count to 10. You're very angry, cuss. Do what you got to do. You need to know your own self. Before you speak, before you decide, before you act, put yourself in a calmer state and let your logic move you forward, not your anxiety. Take times out. We give children time out. Sometimes we think of it as a punishment, but really what it is a chance for the adrenaline that's flowing because they're upset to reach a more normal level. And it makes them calm down. Have you ever been around dogs that are aggressive? We now know it's because they have higher adrenaline levels than dogs that are not aggressive. And adrenaline really makes a difference. And the only thing that works that is time. You got to let your body settle down before you move. Next, do some acts of kindness. Small things, big things, whatever. But do some extra kindness. Get out of yourself. Get out there and do good things for other people. You've heard the expression, the salt of the earth. That refers to the idea that salt purifies and preserves things. It's good for us in that way in preserving food. It was rare and valuable in antiquity. And there's an expression that says, be the salt. Be the salt that gives flavor and joy and preserves happiness in the world. And the salt in the salt shaker does very little good. It looks pretty and white in this little nice little silver container, but it doesn't do any good. So be the salt of the world by doing good for others. If you're stuck at home like I am, a phone call, a Zoom message, there's all kinds of little things you can do. But pass on the goodness that's in you to others. Go online if you're having anxiety. There are online resources where you can get ideas and you can get help. And finally, talk to someone. If it's severe enough, it's disrupting your life, talk to a professional. If it's not that bad, talk to a friend, talk to a minister, a rabbi, a trusted religious leader, a brother or sister, your mom, your dad, somebody who has your best interest in mind, who is a good listener. But talk it out. Sometimes when you get it out of you, as Shrek says, it's better out than in, right? Better out than in. But once you get it out of you, it does that dragon that's inside you doesn't seem so scary when it's outside of you. Well, this has been your Choices Stress Management class for today. I'm your host, Dennis. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in again for more information that'll make your life better. Thanks.